The notification sound cut through the Sunday morning quiet like a knife. Maya Winter's finger hovered over her phone screen, coffee mug suspended halfway to her lips. There, in the harsh light of her kitchen, was a photo posted by someone she didn't follow, Camille Durand, but tagged by someone she knew all too well. Her husband. The image showed Daniel, her Daniel, his arm draped casually around Camille's slim shoulders at what appeared to be a work retreat. Their bodies angled toward each other, their smiles carrying a private joke. Innocent enough to deny, intimate enough to know. 26 likes already. 3 comments. "Such a great weekend," Camille had written. Maya set her mug down with trembling hands, coffee sloshing over the rim. She stared at the image until her vision blurred, feeling her life fracture along invisible fault lines that had been forming for months. She took a screenshot, then another, then opened her laptop. "If you want to play this game," she whispered to the empty kitchen, "let's play." 3 months earlier. The Richardson account is ours. Daniel burst through the door, his suit jacket slung over his shoulder, tie loosened in victory. 4 months of work, and we landed it! Maya looked up from her laptop, where she'd been working on plans for her photography exhibition. At 38, she was finally getting her first solo show at a respected gallery in the city. That's amazing. She jumped up to hug him, genuinely thrilled. Daniel had been working himself to the bone for this account. His financial consulting firm needed the win after losing 2 major clients to competitors last year. Daniel picked her up and spun her around their living room, his familiar cologne wrapping around her. "Dinner's on the firm tonight. Anywhere you want." "Even that pretentious place with the tiny portions you hate?" Maya teased, still in his arms. "Even there," Daniel kissed her forehead. "Though I'm hoping you'll take pity on me." They settled. On their favorite Italian restaurant, the one where they'd had their 3rd date 12 years ago, where Daniel had first told her he loved her. The place where they'd celebrated their engagement, where they'd gone after closing on this house. It felt right to mark another milestone there. Over candlelight and wine, Daniel described the pitch meeting. And then Alex pulled out the demographic analysis which sealed the deal. "Alex was there?" Maya asked, surprised. Daniel's firm had recently hired a hotshot MBA from INSEAD, Alexandra Camille Durand. Everyone called her Camille, and from what Maya had gathered, she was brilliant, ambitious, and 10 years younger than both of them. Of course, she helped build the entire presentation. Daniel swirled his wine. Actually, she's the one who found the pattern in their quarterly reports that nobody else noticed. Total game changer. Maya nodded, stabbing at her pasta. "She sounds impressive." "She is. Moretti paired us for the Goldman pitch next month, too." Something in his voice made Maya look up. A subtle shift in tone, slightly too casual, too measured. She'd known Daniel for 15 years, been married to him for 10. She knew his tells. But she said nothing. What was there to say? "Congratulations on your new work partner. Please don't find her too impressive." It would sound petty, insecure. Maya was neither of those things, or at least she hadn't been before. The changes were subtle at first. Daniel working later, more weekend prep meetings, more business dinners. His texts becoming less frequent, more perfunctory. "It's this Goldman pitch," he explained one night, crawling into bed at 11:30. "If we land it, it could mean a partnership track for me." Maya turned to face him in the darkness. "I know. I'm proud of you." She was, but she also noticed how he checked his phone before kissing her goodnight. How he took calls in another room. How he seemed both more distracted and more energized than she'd seen him in years. Maya threw herself into preparation for her exhibition. Her photography had always been her passion, though she'd spent years doing commercial work to pay the bills while Daniel built his career. Now, with his encouragement and financial support, she was finally pursuing her artistic vision full-time. Her show, Unseen Intimacies, captured moments of connection between strangers in public spaces. a theme that felt increasingly ironic as she sensed the connection in her own marriage fraying. They passed like ships in the night. Daniel leaving before dawn, Maya shooting until sunset, their conversations reduced to logistics and schedules. "Will you be home for dinner Thursday?" Maya asked one morning, watching Daniel rush through his routine. "Can't. Client dinner." He kissed her cheek distractedly. "Friday?" "Not sure yet. The pitch is next week, so we're in crunch mode." "We," Maya echoed. "You and Camille?" Daniel paused, hand on his tie. "And the rest of the team, yes." "Right. The team." Maya smiled tightly. "Well, good luck. I've got final selections for the gallery tomorrow, so I'll be busy anyway." That night, alone again, Maya found herself opening Instagram. She didn't follow Daniel's colleagues. They maintained a polite separation between work and personal life. But she knew Camille's username from an office party mention. She hesitated only briefly before typing it in. Camille's profile was public. Sleek, curated images of city views, contemporary art exhibits, elegant meals. Maya scrolled, telling herself she was just curious, just wanting to understand this woman who consumed so much of her husband's time. Then she saw it. A photo from 6 weeks ago. The Richardson Pitch Celebration dinner. The team gathered around a long table, champagne flutes raised. Daniel sat across from Camille, his expression caught mid-laugh. Something passed between them in that frozen moment. A shared triumph, yes, but something else too. An ease, an understanding. Maya zoomed in, studying her husband's face, seeing the vitality there that had been absent at home for months. She recognized the look because she'd once been its recipient. She closed the app, set down her phone, and stared at their wedding photo on the wall. For the first time in their marriage, Maya felt truly afraid. The Goldman pitch succeeded. Daniel's team won the account. He came home with an expensive bottle of champagne and genuine joy radiating from him. "We did it," he said, popping the cork in their kitchen. Maya embraced him, inhaling his scent, searching for traces of something different, something foreign. "Congratulations. I knew you would." They made love that night for the first time in weeks. Afterward, as Daniel slept beside her, Maya lay, awake, wondering if he'd been this passionate with Camille too, or if guilt had fueled his ardor. She hated the thought, hated herself for thinking it. But once planted, the seed of doubt grew like a weed, choking out trust with every unexplained absence, every late night, every vague text. Her exhibition opened to positive reviews. Daniel attended the gallery reception, proud and supportive, working the room like the partner of an established artist, rather than a mid-career photographer having her first real break. "Your wife's eye is extraordinary," the gallery owner told him. "The way she captures intimate moments between strangers, there's such honesty there." Daniel squeezed Maya's hand. "She's always seen things others miss." The comment landed like a stone in Maya's stomach. "Yes, I do see things," she thought. "I'm seeing us unravel in slow motion." That night, after the success of her opening, after champagne and congratulations, after Daniel had fallen asleep, Maya checked his phone for the first time in their marriage. Nothing. No suspicious texts, no revealing emails. His Instagram DMs were mundane. She felt equal parts relief and shame. She was becoming someone she didn't recognize, suspicious, insecure. She put his phone back and vowed to stop this toxic spiral. The next morning, Daniel surprised her with breakfast in bed and tickets to a weekend photography workshop in Vermont she'd been eyeing. "I'm so proud of you," he said, sitting beside her. "And I know I've been absent lately. I want to make it up to you." "What about work?" Maya asked, fingering the tickets. "I've cleared my schedule. The team can handle things without me for a weekend." She searched his face for deceit and found only sincerity. Relief washed through her. Maybe she'd imagined it all. Maybe the distance had been just work stress, not infidelity. "I'd love that," she said, meaning it. But the day before their planned getaway, Daniel received a call. The Goldman team wants an emergency meeting in Boston, he explained, pacing their bedroom. Something about restructuring their Asian operations before the merger announcement. Maya felt her face fall. This weekend? Our weekend? I'm sorry, Maya. I tried to get out of it, but Moretti insisted the whole team be there. He knelt before her, taking her hands. I'll make it up to you, I promise. It's fine, she said automatically, though it wasn't. Work is important. You're important, he insisted. The show was amazing. You're amazing. When this Goldman deal closes next month, things will calm down. She nodded, forcing a smile. Go, do your job. We'll reschedule Vermont. He kissed her gratefully. I love you. Maya watched him pack with efficient movements, wondering if the emergency meeting was real or manufactured. Wondering if Camille had suggested it. When Daniel left, she opened his laptop. They knew each other's passwords, had never kept digital secrets. She checked his calendar. Goldman emergency session, Boston, was indeed blocked for the weekend. She checked his email. The meeting appeared legitimate, with detailed agendas and attendee lists. Camille's name was there, along with 6 others. Again, relief mixed with shame flooded her. She was becoming paranoid, reading infidelity into normal business operations. This had to stop. Yet that night, alone in their bed, Maya couldn't help opening Instagram again. She told herself she was just checking if any more gallery visitors had posted about her exhibition, but her fingers typed Camille's username instead. A new post from 2 hours ago. A hotel bar in Boston, elegant and dimly lit. The caption read, "When work takes you away from home, find colleagues who make it feel less lonely. Consultant life." No photos of people, just the sophisticated setting. But Maya recognized the bar. The Westridge Hotel. She and Daniel had stayed there 3 years ago for a friend's wedding. She knew she should close the app, go to bed, trust her husband. Instead, she did something she'd never done before. She took out her credit card and called the Westridge Hotel. "Yes, I'd like to confirm my husband's reservation," she said smoothly. Daniel Winters. A pause. Keyboard clicks. "Yes, Mrs. Winters. Your husband checked in at 4:35 p.m., room 718. And could you remind me what type of room we booked? I know we discussed a few options." More clicking. "It's a standard king room, Mrs. Winters. Is there something else you need?" "No, that's perfect." "Thank you," Maya hung up, her heart racing. A standard king room. Not suspicious in itself. Most business travelers booked king rooms. She called the hotel again immediately, using a slightly different voice. "Hello. I'd like to confirm my colleague's room number. We're having an early breakfast meeting." "Camille Durand!" A briefer pause. "Ms. Durand is in room 720, ma'am." Maya thanked the receptionist and ended the call, her blood turning to ice. Rooms 718 and 720. Adjacent rooms. Perhaps just coincidence. Just the hotel's assignment. Perhaps. But Maya didn't believe in coincidences anymore. She opened her laptop and booked a ticket on the first morning, train to Boston, the Westridge Hotel lobby, hummed with Sunday morning activity when Maya arrived. Business travelers checking out, tourists planning their day, staff moving efficiently through it all. She wore large sunglasses and a hat, feeling like a character in a spy film, hating herself for it. She took the elevator to the 7th floor, her heart hammering against her ribs. She had no plan. What would she do? Knock on Daniel's door? Confront them both? She only knew she needed to see the truth with her own eyes, whatever it was. The elevator doors opened. Maya stepped into the hallway, then froze. There they were, Daniel and Camille, standing outside room 720. Not touching, but standing close. Too close. Daniel said something Maya couldn't hear, and Camille laughed, her hand briefly touching his arm. Then he checked his watch, said something else, and they started walking toward the elevator, toward Maya. She panicked, ducking around a corner, heart racing. She heard them pass, caught fragments of their conversation. Should arrive by 11. Presentation looks solid. Dinner. Reservations at 7. Business. Talk. Professional. Maya let out a shaky breath. Maybe she truly was imagining things. Maybe adjacent rooms were just efficient booking. She waited until they'd entered the elevator, then walked slowly to room 718. She stared at the door, feeling foolish. What had she expected to find? Them in bed together? A trail of discarded clothing? As she turned to leave, a housekeeping cart rattled past. The maid smiled at her. "Can I help you, ma'am?" "No, Maya stopped. "Actually, yes. I forgot my key and my husband's gone down to breakfast." Room 718, the maid hesitated. "I'll need to see some ID, ma'am." Maya pulled out her driver's license showing the matching last name. The maid nodded and used her master key. "Thank you," Maya said, slipping her a $20 bill. "I won't be long." Inside, she surveyed the room. Daniel's suitcase was neatly organized, as always. His dress shoes aligned precisely by the closet. His toiletries arranged methodically in the bathroom. Nothing seemed out of place. Nothing suggested Camille had been there. Maya sat on the edge of the bed, relief washing through her. She was being ridiculous, risking her marriage with unfounded suspicions. Then she noticed the pad by the phone. A sheet had been torn off, but the impression of writing remained. She picked up a pencil and lightly shaded over it, revealing the ghost of words. "Meet me at 11. Same place." Maya's hands trembled. Same place. That implied a pattern, a history. She checked her watch. 10:40 a.m. If she hurried, she could follow them, see where same place was. She slipped out of the room and took the stairs down, not wanting to risk the elevator. In the lobby, she spotted them immediately. Daniel and Camille sat in the hotel's coffee shop, laptops open, heads bent close together. Their posture was professional, but there was an ease between them that spoke of familiarity beyond colleagues. Maya positioned herself behind a large decorative plant, watching. For 20 minutes, nothing happened that couldn't be explained as work collaboration. Then Daniel checked his watch again. "We should go," he said, loud enough for Maya to hear. "Don't want to be late." They packed up their laptops and left the hotel. Maya followed at a safe distance, weaving through Sunday morning pedestrians, keeping the back of Daniel's familiar gray coat in sight. They walked 6 blocks, then entered a small Italian restaurant. Through the window, Maya watched as they were led not to the main dining area, but through a door to what must be a private room. She waited 5 minutes, then entered. The hostess smiled. "Good morning. Just one?" "Actually," Maya said, her voice surprisingly steady, "I'm joining the Winters party." "In the private room?" The hostess checked her tablet. "I don't see— Oh, you must mean the Richardson meeting. Right this way." Richardson. The account that had started it all. Maya followed the hostess, who opened the door to a small dining room. Inside, Daniel and Camille sat at a table, with 3 older men in business suits. "Your final guest has arrived," the hostess announced. 5 pairs of eyes turned to Maya. Daniel's widened in shock. "Maya? Mrs. Winters?" One of the older men stood, smiling broadly. "Daniel didn't mention you'd be joining us." "What a pleasant surprise." Maya stood frozen in the doorway, processing the scene. A legitimate business meeting. With Richardson clients. Not a romantic rendezvous at all. There's been a misunderstanding, she managed. "I'm sorry to interrupt." "Nonsense," the man said. "I'm Robert Richardson. We've heard so much about you." "Daniel mentioned you're a photographer? Just had a successful gallery opening?" Daniel had risen, his expression a mix of confusion and concern. "Maya, is everything all right?" She felt heat rising in her cheeks. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I need to go." Before anyone could respond, she turned and fled. Behind her, she heard Daniel excuse himself, then his footsteps following. He caught up to her on the sidewalk outside. "Maya, what are you doing here?" The concern in his voice only deepened her shame. I saw Camille's post about Boston. Your adjacent hotel rooms. I found the note about meet me at 11, same place. I thought, Understanding dawned on his face, followed by hurt. You thought I was having an affair with Camille? You followed me to Boston? Put so bluntly, her actions seemed not just paranoid, but unhinged. Your rooms are next to each other, Daniel. The whole team is on the same floor. Maya, I can't believe this. You checked my hotel room? Pedestrians were beginning to stare. Maya lowered her voice. You've been distant for months, always working late with her. The Goldman pitch, the Richardson account. I see how you light up talking about her. Daniel ran a hand through his hair, visibly processing. We work together. She's brilliant at her job. That's it, is it? Maya challenged, finding her footing. Can you honestly tell me you have no feelings for her? His hesitation, just a fraction of a second too long, told her everything. You should get back to your meeting, she said quietly. We'll talk at home. Maya. Go, Daniel! Your clients are waiting. Your colleague is waiting. He looked torn, glancing back at the restaurant. I can't just leave in the middle of, I know. Go. Do your job. She turned away, unable to bear his conflicted expression. I'll get the train back home. She felt him watching her walk away, felt the weight of everything unspoken between them. In her purse, her phone buzzed with a notification. Maya didn't check her phone until she was on the train. The notification was from Instagram. Camille had posted a new photo, the one that would shatter everything. Daniel and Camille standing close together outside the restaurant Maya had just left. Daniel's expression intense, concerned. Camille's hand on his arm, comforting. The caption read, When work becomes more than just business. Dar's work family. 26 likes already. Comments asking about their situation. Daniel tagged. The photo wasn't explicitly romantic. To an outsider, it could be interpreted as colleagues sharing a work moment. But Maya knew better. The intimacy was there in their body language, in Camille's proprietary touch, in the way they leaned toward each other, and now it was public. Tagged, for everyone in their circle to see and wonder about. Maya stared at her phone until the screen dimmed, then went black. The train lurched forward, carrying her away from Boston, from the tangible evidence of her crumbling marriage. By the time she arrived home, the photo had 42 likes. Daniel had called 3 times, left 2 voicemails. She didn't listen to them. Instead, she opened her laptop and began working. Not on her photography, but on something else entirely. When Daniel finally came home that evening, Maya was sitting at the kitchen table, calm and composed. Maya, we need to talk about what happened, he said, setting down his bags. That was completely inappropriate? Embarrassing? Paranoid? She supplied. Yes, it was all of those things. I'm sorry. He seemed taken aback by her calm demeanor. You really thought I was having an affair? Are you? Daniel sat across from her. No, not physically. The qualification hung in the air between them. But you want to, Maya said. Not a question. He looked down at his hands. I don't know what I want. I'm confused. About Camille. About us, he corrected. About what happened to us. When did we stop talking? When did we become strangers sharing a house? Around the time you started spending every waking moment with a woman who posts intimate photos of you and tags you publicly, Maya said, her calm beginning to crack. That photo wasn't, I saw it, Daniel. Everyone saw it. Your mother saw it. My sister saw it. Everyone we know is now wondering if you're having an affair with your gorgeous young colleague. He winced. I'll ask her to take it down. Don't bother. The damage is done. Maya pushed her laptop toward him. Speaking of photos, I've been working on something today. Daniel looked at the screen, then froze. What is this? On the screen was a photo collage. Maya had taken screenshots of Camille's posts featuring Daniel over the past few months. Subtle, professional, but telling in aggregate. She'd placed them alongside screenshots of his texts to Maya during the same period. Working late. Don't wait up. Sorry, can't make it. Emergency meeting. Beside these, she'd added photos from their own life together. Moments when Daniel had been physically present, but mentally elsewhere. Him checking his phone during her exhibition. Him sleeping on the couch after claiming to work late. Him staring distantly out a window on their anniversary. The collage told a story more damning than any affair, the story of a marriage dying by degrees. Maya, I'm posting this tomorrow, she said, with both of you tagged. And everyone we know tagged as well. Daniel stared at her in horror. You can't be serious. This would destroy my professional reputation. Your concern for your reputation over my feelings is noted. This isn't you, he said. You don't do public drama. You don't weaponize social media. You don't have affairs, she countered. Yet here we are. I told you I haven't slept with her. Does that matter? You've given her your attention, your energy, your presence, all the things you've withheld from me. Maya's voice finally broke. You've been having an emotional affair for months, Daniel. Don't insult me by denying it. He was silent for a long moment, then, You're right. The admission hung between them. I don't know when it started, he continued. We were just colleagues, and then friends, and then I found myself looking forward to seeing her, thinking about her when she wasn't there. He looked up, eyes damp. I never meant for it to happen. Does she feel the same? He nodded slowly. We've never acted on it. Never discussed it directly. But yes, I think so. Maya felt strangely calm hearing the confirmation of what she'd feared for months. So what now? I don't know. Daniel looked lost, younger somehow. I care about you, Maya, 15 years together. That's not something I want to throw away. But you're not in love with me anymore. He didn't answer, which was answer enough. And Camille? Maya pressed. Are you in love with her? I don't know, maybe. I'm confused, Maya. Well, while you're figuring it out, she stood. I'll be deciding whether to post this tomorrow. Maya, please, you should sleep in the guest room tonight. As she turned to leave, Daniel asked, Would you really do it? Post that for everyone to see. Maya paused at the doorway. Camille didn't hesitate to post your private moment. Why should I? She left him staring at the collage, at the evidence of his divided heart. In their bedroom, Maya finally broke down, silent tears streaming down her face. She loved him still, despite everything. But she couldn't unsee what she'd seen, unhear what he'd admitted. Her phone buzzed again. Another Instagram notification. She almost ignored it, but curiosity won. Camille had deleted the photo of her and Daniel. Too late. The damage was done. By morning, Maya had made her decision. She wouldn't post the collage, not because Daniel didn't deserve it, but because she wouldn't lower herself to public revenge. There were better ways to reclaim her dignity. She found Daniel already awake, sitting at the kitchen table with coffee and a haunted expression. He hadn't slept. She could tell. I'm not posting it, she said without preamble. Relief washed across his face. Thank you. I'm not doing it for you, she interrupted. I'm doing it for me. I won't be the person who airs private pain for public consumption. He nodded slowly. What happens now? That depends on you. Maya sat across from him. What do you want, Daniel? He stared into his coffee. I want things to be good between us again. I want to feel what I used to feel. And Camille? I need to establish better boundaries. Professional ones. Maya studied him. This man she'd loved for 15 years. This stranger she now barely recognized. That's not an answer. What do you want me to say? The truth. For once, Daniel met her gaze finally. I think I need time to figure out what I want. Who I want. The words sliced through her, but Maya had expected them. Then take it. Away from here. Away from me. You're asking me to leave? I'm telling you to make a choice. Stay and recommit fully to our marriage, which means cutting ties with Camille professionally and personally, or go and explore whatever this is with her. But you don't get both. You don't get to keep me waiting while you decide if someone else is better. Daniel looked stricken. It's not that simple. My career is important, I know. So is my self-respect. Maya stood. I'm going to my studio for the day. When I come back tonight, I'd like an answer. Or your things packed. Your choice. She gathered her camera bag, leaving Daniel at the table. Facing the hardest decision of his life, at her studio, Maya threw herself into work, losing herself in the darkroom. In the familiar chemistry of bringing images to life, hours passed. She didn't check her phone. When she finally emerged, evening had fallen. She packed up slowly, dreading what she might find at home. Daniel gone, or worse. Daniel still there, but without a decision. As she drove home, she steeled herself for either outcome, reminding herself that she would survive this, with or without him. The house was dark when she arrived. Her heart sank. He'd made his choice then. But when she opened the door, she found candles lit throughout the living room. Soft music played, and on the coffee table sat a folder. Daniel emerged from the kitchen looking both solemn and determined. "What is this?" Maya asked, setting down her bag. "My answer," he said, gesturing to the folder. "Open it." Inside, Maya found printed emails. The first, from Daniel to his firm's HR department, requesting immediate reassignment from any projects involving Camille Durand, citing a professional conflict. The second, from Daniel to the head of his firm, requesting consideration for the Singapore office expansion, a position that would take him out of the country for 6 months. "I can't promise I won't think about her," Daniel said quietly. "But I can remove the temptation. I can create space to remember why I fell in love with you, why I married you." Maya studied the emails, emotions warring within her. "You'd leave the country? If that's what it takes to save us. I spoke with Moretti today. The Singapore position is mine if I want it. And us? Would I come with you? That's your choice. You could join me, make it a fresh start for both of us. Or you could stay, continue with your exhibition success here. We could try long distance, use the time to remember who we are individually." Maya set down the folder. "You've thought this through." "I have." Daniel stepped closer. "I choose you, Maya. I choose us. But I can't pretend the last few months didn't happen, that I didn't get confused. I need to earn back your trust. I need to remember why you're the one I married. And if you decide I'm not, if 6 months in Singapore makes you realize you made the wrong choice, then at least we'll know we tried." His voice broke. "I don't want to wonder what if for the rest of my life, about her or about us." Maya moved to the window, looking out at the night, weighing his proposition. "When would you leave?" 2 weeks. "If I accept." She turned back to him. "And Camille? Have you told her?" "I emailed her my decision this afternoon. Professionally and personally." "Did she respond?" Daniel nodded. "She understands. She's disappointed, but she respects the choice." Maya absorbed this, searching for any hint of deception in his face and finding only weary honesty. "I need to show you something," she said finally, reaching for her phone. She opened Instagram and handed it to him. There was a new post on her professional account. A photograph from her exhibition. 2 strangers on a subway, sitting apart, both looking at the same distant point, unaware of their shared focus. The caption read, "Sometimes we look at the same horizon from different seats. Unsee intimacies." Daniel looked up, questioning. "I've been thinking about my exhibition theme," Maya explained. "Unseen intimacies. Connections people don't notice they're forming. I've spent years capturing strangers finding momentary alignment in public spaces. The irony is that I missed seeing the connections forming and breaking in my own home." She took back her phone. "I don't know if I want to go to Singapore. I don't know if I want to stay. But I do know I'm not ready to give up on us yet." Daniel's eyes filled with cautious hope. "So where does that leave us?" "In the work," Maya said simply. "In the daily choice to see each other. Really see each other." She stepped closer, close enough to smell his familiar cologne. "I won't post that collage, but I am going to post something. Tonight." Before he could ask what, Maya took out her phone and snapped a picture of them both. Her looking directly at the camera, clear-eyed and determined. Daniel slightly behind her, his expression a complex mix of regret and resolve. She showed him the image. "This is reality, not some curated moment of false perfection. This is us, right now, choosing to face our mess together. Are you going to tag everyone?" he asked, a hint of their old humor returning. Just 2 people, Maya replied. You and me. She uploaded the photo to her personal account, adding a simple caption, "The work begins." Real life. Then she set down her phone and took Daniel's hand. Now, tell me about Singapore. As they sat together, talking honestly for the first time in months, Maya's phone buzzed with notifications. People liking her raw, real photo. People seeing the truth she'd chosen to share. Among them, a single like from Camille Durand, followed by her quietly unfollowing both of their accounts. Some stories didn't need a dramatic ending, just an honest new beginning. 6 months later, Maya adjusted her camera on the balcony of their temporary Singapore apartment, framing the city skyline at sunset. Behind her, she heard Daniel's key in the lock. "I brought dinner," he called. "Out here," she replied, not looking away from her viewfinder. He joined her on the balcony, setting down takeout containers. "Capturing the golden hour?" Maya snapped a few more shots, then straightened. "How was work?" "Good, productive." Daniel hesitated. Moretti called. "They want me back in New York next month." "The Richardson expansion is moving forward." Maya set down her camera. "And how do you feel about that?" "Ready." He met her gaze. "I feel ready to go home." "With you?" She studied him, this man she'd almost lost, this man she was slowly rediscovering. 6 months of intentional reconnection. Sometimes awkward, sometimes painful, increasingly genuine. What about the Singapore office? They still need someone to run it. Moretti mentioned Camille might be interested. Maya absorbed this without flinching. Daniel's honesty about his former colleague had become their new normal, not always comfortable but necessary. Could you work with her again? From a distance? Daniel considered this. Yes, as her superior, not her peer. With clear boundaries, he touched Maya's hand. If you're comfortable with it. Maya thought about the journey they'd taken, from betrayal to brutal honesty to this new, more resilient connection. "I trust us now," she said simply. She picked up her camera and showed him the last photo she'd taken, the Singapore skyline, but with their 2 shadows visible in the foreground, elongated by the setting sun, reaching toward each other across the balcony floor. "I'm thinking of calling my next exhibition Scene," she said. "What do you think?" Daniel smiled, recognizing the healing in her words. "I think it's perfect." Maya posted the skyline photo that night. No caption needed, just the image. Beautiful city, 2 shadows, the space between them bridged. In New York, Camille Durand saw the post and quietly liked it, then continued packing for Singapore, for her own new beginning. Some connections break. Some transform. Some strengthen through testing. All become part of the unseen intimacies that shape a life. But the ones that last are the ones brave enough to be seen.
And that wraps up today's story. Now we want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments, and let's see how far these stories reach. If this story moved you or gave you chills, give it a like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories. One last thing, rate the story from 1 to 10 in the comments. Your feedback helps us bring you even better ones next time. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you being part of this storytelling journey.